All right, so for this one, we have that Kayla set up an outdoor digital thermometer to record the temperature overnight as part of her science fair project. She began recording the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. At 10 p.m., Kayla modeled an overnight temperature with the function T, and each represents the number of hours since 10 p.m. And this is the function right here. The question is, what is the lowest temperature and what time did it occur? Well, if I look at it, it looks like it occurred 5 hours after 10 p.m. But I can verify that by graphing this in my graphing calculator, and then my calculator will let me know what the minimum y value is, okay? So the only difference is that when I graph this in my graphing calculator, I've got to switch my h's to x's. So it should be like y sub 1 is equal to all this stuff here. And then keep in mind that my y-intercept is at positive 27.5. So when I go to graph this, I'm going to plug in this equation, right? And then I've got to set up my window so that it accommodates those values. So I'm just going to put from -5 to 9, but it's got to be bigger than 27.5. So for my y value, my y maximum value, I'm going to put 50. So I get a graph that looks like this. If I wanted it to look exactly like this, notice that my y value goes up to 28. Let's just make it look like this. So if I hit window, my x value goes from 0 to 7. So my x minimum should be 0. And then my x maximum should be 7. Then my y minimum should be 0. And then they actually had 28. So now when I hit graph, my graph will look just like their graph. Okay? But I want to verify and see if it's actually the minimum at 5. So I'm going to hit second calc. I'm going to find the minimum value, okay? It says find the left boundary. So I'm going to use the cursor here to go just a little bit to the left of 5. So this is my x value, this is my y value. So I'm just a little bit to the left of 5. I'm going to hit enter, and then it says right boundary. So now I'm going to go a little bit to the right of x equals 5. Okay, this is greater than 5. So now I'm going to hit enter, and then it's going to say guess. I'm going to guess 5 or close to it. Okay, then I'm going to hit enter. And the calculator does some math, and it says 5.000. Now what it's doing is approximating it, but it's saying x equals 5 and y equals 15. So that's true. It occurs at 5, 15. So I'm going to say 5. Oops, wrong thing. 5, 15. Now remember, 15 represents the age, so that's the temperature. And 5 hours after 10 p.m. it actually occurs at 3 a.m. Okay, and that's how you use the calculator to double check and make sure. We probably never would have got that 15 if we didn't use the graphic. I mean, you could have guessed. It's the only obvious answer.